Story 1. I work as a customer service supervisor at Homestyle Furniture, a regional chain that specializes in affordable home furnishings. After 6 years in retail, I thought I'd seen every possible return scam: people trying to return obviously used items, customers claiming defects that clearly resulted from misuse, and the occasional person who thinks screaming will get them whatever they want. But nothing prepared me for what walked through our doors on a busy Saturday afternoon. My path to this job started after I dropped out of college to help my mom through her cancer treatment. What began as a temporary retail position to pay bills turned into a career when I discovered I actually enjoyed helping people furnish their homes. I worked my way up from sales associate to supervisor, and I take pride in our store's reputation for fair customer service and quality products. We have clear return policies posted throughout the store and printed on every receipt. Items must be returned within 30 days, in original condition, with proof of purchase. We're actually more generous than most furniture stores. Many places don't accept returns on large items at all once they've been delivered. The chaos began around 2 p.m. when I heard shouting from the front entrance. A woman was trying to maneuver what appeared to be a dining room table through our doors, cursing at our sales associate who was trying to help her. "Karen, move out of my way. I need to return this garbage immediately." Sales associate: "Ma'am, if you'd like to make a return, I can help you at the customer service desk. Do you have your receipt?" Karen: "I don't need a receipt. I'm a VIP card holder. I shop here all the time." I walked over to assess the situation. The woman had somehow managed to drag in a dining table that was clearly damaged, deep scratches across the surface, what looked like water stains, and several chips along the edges. Behind her, a delivery truck was unloading matching chairs that were in equally poor condition. Me: "Good afternoon, I'm the supervisor. I understand you'd like to make a return?" Karen: "Finally, someone in charge. I need to return this entire dining set immediately. It no longer matches my aura." Me: "I see. When did you purchase this set?" Karen: "That's not important. I'm a VIP cardholder, which means I can return anything, anytime, for any reason." I looked at the condition of the furniture more closely. The scratches weren't just surface damage, they looked like years of wear. There were ring stains from glasses or mugs, and the chairs had visible food stains on the upholstery. Me: "Ma'am, I can see this furniture has significant wear and damage. How long have you owned it?" Karen: "That's irrelevant. The quality is obviously defective if it got damaged so easily." Me: "These appear to be normal wear patterns from extended use. Can you provide your receipt or the original purchase information?" Karen: "I told you, I don't need a receipt. Look up my VIP account. I spend thousands here." I went to our computer system to check for her account information. Me: "What's the name on the account?" She gave me her name, and I searched our customer database. There was an account under her name, but it showed no purchase history for over 3 years, and her VIP status had expired due to inactivity. Me: "I found your account, but it shows your VIP membership expired in 2021, and your last purchase was a small lamp in early 2022. Karen: "That's impossible. I just bought this set recently. Your system must be wrong." Me: "Ma'am, our records are quite accurate. This dining set shows significant wear that would take years to accumulate. I'm afraid we can't accept this return." That's when she completely lost it. Karen: "How dare you question me? I am a VIP customer. I demand to speak to the real manager." Me: "I am the supervisor, and I'm authorized to handle returns. This furniture is clearly beyond our return policy timeframe and condition requirements." Karen: "This is discrimination. You're treating me poorly because you're jealous of my success. I demand my money back right now." Other customers were starting to stare and move away from the commotion. I could see families with children looking uncomfortable. Me: "Ma'am, I need you to lower your voice. We have other customers in the store." Karen: "I don't care about other customers. They can wait. I was here first, and I deserve better service." She started pounding on the customer service counter. Karen: "Give me my money back. This furniture is garbage. It's your fault it got damaged so quickly. Me. The condition of this furniture indicates years of normal household use. Scratches, water stains, and upholstery stains don't happen overnight. Karen, you're calling me a liar. I want corporate's number. I'm having you all fired. I decided to check our security footage to see if there was any record of her purchasing this set. Our system keeps video records of all large furniture deliveries. Me. Let me pull up our delivery records and security footage to verify when this set was sold. I accessed our security system on the computer. After searching through several months of footage, I found something interesting, but not what she claimed. Me. I found footage of this dining set, but it's not what you might expect. Karen, see, that proves I bought it recently. Me, actually, this footage shows you purchasing this exact set from our showroom floor as a used display model over 2 years ago. You received a significant discount because it already had minor scratches and wear. Her face went completely white. Me, you bought this as a display model for 60% off the regular price specifically because it had existing damage. Our records show you acknowledged the condition and waived the return policy at the time of purchase. Karen, that's not. You're making that up. I turned the computer monitor so she could see the security footage clearly showing her examining the scratches and signing the waiver paperwork. Me, this footage also shows that the damage on the furniture today is significantly worse than when you purchased it. The scratches are deeper, there are new stains, and the chairs show additional wear. Karen, I don't care what your fake footage shows. I want my money back. This is harassment. Me, ma'am, attempting to return clearly used merchandise while claiming it's a recent purchase is considered fraud. Karen, how dare you accuse me of fraud? I'm calling the police. I'm calling the news. Everyone will know how terribly you treat customers. The store manager, who had been watching from across the store, finally approached. Manager, what seems to be the problem here? Karen, finally, the real manager. Your employees are accusing me of fraud and refusing to process my return. I'm a VIP customer. Manager, I heard the conversation from my office. I also reviewed the security footage. You're attempting to return a display model you purchased over 2 years ago, and the condition has deteriorated significantly since your purchase. Karen, that's not true. I just bought this. Your employees are conspiring against me. Manager, ma'am, we have clear documentation of your purchase, including video footage of you signing a waiver acknowledging the existing damage and agreeing to final sale terms. Karen, I demand you honor my return. I'm never shopping here again. Manager, that actually works out well, because you're now banned from our store permanently. Security fraud and attempting to scam returns puts other customers and our business at risk. Karen, you can't ban me. I'll sue you. This is illegal. Manager, you're welcome to contact corporate, but they'll see the same documentation we have. You need to remove your furniture and leave the premises immediately. Karen, I'm not taking this garbage back. It's your problem now. Manager, if you abandon this furniture on our property, we'll have it removed at your expense and add those charges to the trespassing report we'll file with police. She finally realized she wasn't going to win this fight. With the help of the delivery people she'd hired, she loaded the furniture back onto the truck, muttering threats and insults the entire time. Karen, you haven't heard the last of me. I'm posting about this everywhere. Your store will be ruined. After she left, several customers who had witnessed the incident approached me. Customer, thank you for not giving in to her. It's frustrating when stores reward that kind of behavior. Another customer, I can't believe she tried to return furniture that was clearly years old. You handled that perfectly. We did receive a few negative online reviews from her over the next week, but they were so obviously false and vindictive that most people could see through them. Several customers even posted positive reviews praising our staff for standing up to fraudulent returns. The incident became a training example for our newer employees about return fraud and how to handle aggressive customers professionally. Sometimes standing firm on policies protects honest customers from having to subsidize scammers through higher prices. Karen learned that screaming about VIP status doesn't work when the computer system clearly shows you're not actually a VIP, and security footage proves you're lying about when you made your purchase. Story 2. I've been working as a server at Garden Cafe for 3 years, and we pride ourselves on accommodating customers with dietary restrictions. We have detailed allergen menus, train our staff on cross-contamination prevention, and our kitchen is equipped to handle special requests safely. Most customers with genuine allergies are grateful for our careful approach and understanding of the extra steps required. The cafe specializes in fresh, locally sourced ingredients, and our menu changes seasonally. We're particularly known for our tomato-based dishes. During summer months, our capre salad, tomato basil soup, and pasta arrabbiata are customer favorites. We also clearly label all dishes containing common allergens. It was a busy Saturday afternoon when a woman in her 40s walked in alone and requested a table. She seemed pleasant enough when I seated her, though she immediately started studying our menu with an intense focus that suggested she was looking for problems rather than food. Me, can I start you off with something to drink? Karen, I need to speak with your manager first. I have a very serious medical condition. This wasn't unusual. Customers with severe allergies often want to discuss their needs with management to ensure their safety. Me, of course. Let me get the owner. She handles all our allergy protocols personally. Our owner came over within minutes. She's been in the restaurant business for over 20 years and takes food safety extremely seriously. Owner, I understand you have some dietary concerns. How can we help you today? Karen, I have a rare tomato allergy. It's extremely severe, and I could die if I'm exposed to even trace amounts. Owner, I completely understand. We take all allergies very seriously. Let me walk you through our procedures and see what options we have for you. The owner explained our kitchen protocols, showed Karen our allergen-free preparation area, and went through the menu item by item to identify safe options. Owner, we have several dishes that are completely tomato-free and prepared in our separate allergen-safe station. Our grilled chicken with herbs, the quinoa salad without the cherry tomatoes, or our pasta with olive oil and garlic would all be safe options. Karen, that's not acceptable. I want something more substantial. Can you make me a custom meal? Owner, what did you have in mind? Karen, I want your pasta arrabbiata, but without any tomato products. Make it with a cream sauce instead. The owner looked puzzled. Pasta arrabbiata is literally defined by its spicy tomato sauce without tomatoes. It's just not the same dish. Owner, ma'am, arrabbiata is a tomato-based sauce. Without tomatoes, it would be a completely different dish. We could make you pasta with Alfredo sauce or a simple olive oil preparation. Karen, no, I specifically want arrabbiata. Just make it without tomatoes. It can't be that hard. Owner, I understand you want something similar, but arrabbiata without tomatoes would just be pasta with olive oil and red pepper flakes. Would that work for you? Karen, fine, but I want it to taste like arrabbiata. Add extra spices to make up for the missing tomatoes. The owner agreed to have the kitchen prepare a special pasta dish with extra herbs and spices to create a flavorful sauce without any tomato products. She emphasized that it wouldn't taste like traditional arrabbiata, but Karen insisted that's what she wanted. While waiting for her food, Karen mentioned her allergy several more times, making sure nearby tables could hear her discussing her life-threatening condition and how restaurants never take it seriously enough. When I brought out her custom pasta dish, she immediately started complaining. Karen, this doesn't look right. Arrabbiata should be red. Me, ma'am, we couldn't use any tomato products because of your allergy. That's what makes the traditional sauce red. Karen, well, it looks boring. Don't you have anything to make it look more appetizing? I offered to bring her some Parmesan cheese or fresh herbs, but she waved me off and started eating, while continuing to complain about the appearance and flavor. About halfway through her meal, I noticed her reaching into her large purse. I was clearing a nearby table when I saw her pull out a small bottle of ketchup and start squeezing it onto her pasta. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. This woman who had claimed to have a life-threatening tomato allergy was adding ketchup, which is almost entirely tomatoes, to her specially prepared meal. I immediately went to get the owner, who was in the kitchen checking on other orders. You need to see this. The woman with the tomato allergy is putting ketchup on her pasta. Owner, are you sure? I watched her take it out of her purse and squeeze it all over the food we specially prepared for her allergy. The owner came out to the dining room and observed Karen from a distance. Sure enough, she was liberally applying ketchup to her pasta and eating it with obvious satisfaction. Owner, excuse me, ma'am, I need to ask you about something. Karen, what now? Is there a problem with the service? Owner, I noticed you're adding ketchup to your pasta. Ketchup is made primarily from tomatoes. Karen's face went bright red, but not from embarrassment, from anger. Karen, how dare you spy on me? That's an invasion of privacy. Owner, ma'am, you told us you have a severe tomato allergy. Ketchup contains tomatoes. Karen, that's different. I can control how much I use. You people don't understand allergies at all. Owner, if you have a severe tomato allergy, any amount of tomato product could be dangerous. Karen, don't tell me about my own medical condition. This is medical discrimination. She was getting louder, and other customers were starting to stare. The owner remained calm and professional. Owner, ma'am, we went to great lengths to accommodate what you told us was a life-threatening allergy. Our kitchen used special protocols to prevent cross-contamination. Karen, I don't have to explain my medical needs to you. Maybe I'm building up my tolerance. Maybe my doctor told me to try small amounts. Owner, I understand medical treatment can be complex, but that's not typically how severe allergies are managed. Karen, you're not a doctor. You can't question my medical condition. At this point, the owner had heard enough. Owner, ma'am, I'd like to show you something. She pulled out her phone and showed Karen footage from the security camera that clearly showed her adding ketchup to her pasta. Owner, our security system captures the dining room for safety purposes. This footage shows you adding a tomato-based product to food that we specially prepared for your alleged tomato allergy. Karen, that's illegal. You can't record me without permission. Owner, the camera system is clearly posted at the entrance, and recording in public areas of businesses is completely legal. Karen, delete that footage right now. This is harassment. Owner, I'm afraid I can't do that. This footage documents that you misrepresented your medical condition and wasted our kitchen's time and resources. Karen, I'm calling the health department. I'm calling the police. This is discrimination. Owner, you're welcome to call anyone you'd like, but you'll need to do it from outside my restaurant. I'm asking you to leave. Karen, I'm not paying for this meal. You people are criminals. Owner, the meal is on the house. Please just leave quietly. But Karen didn't leave quietly. She continued yelling about discrimination and medical harassment while gathering her things. Other customers were recording her outburst on their phones. After she finally left, several customers approached the owner to express their support and disgust at Karen's behavior. One customer mentioned that they had genuine food allergies and were appalled at someone faking such a serious medical condition. The owner decided to post the security footage on the cafe's social media page with the caption, "Allergic to accountability." She explained that while they take all allergies seriously, fake claims waste resources and potentially endanger people with real medical needs. The post went viral in local foodie groups within hours. People were sharing their own stories about encountering fake allergy claims and discussing how it makes life harder for people with legitimate medical conditions. Several local restaurant owners commented that they had dealt with similar situations and appreciated the cafe standing up against fraudulent claims. The best part came a few days later when someone recognized Karen from the video and revealed that she had pulled similar stunts at other restaurants around town, always with different fake allergies depending on what she wanted to avoid or modify about her meal. One commenter shared that Karen had claimed to be deathly allergic to onions at their restaurant, then ordered onion rings to go on her way out. The incident sparked a broader conversation about how fake medical claims hurt people with real conditions. Several customers with genuine allergies thanked the cafe for not letting someone abuse the system that restaurants have put in place to keep them safe. Karen never returned to our restaurant, but she apparently continued her pattern at other establishments until word spread through the local restaurant community. Eventually, most places in town knew to be skeptical if she came in with dramatic allergy claims. The whole experience reinforced why we take real allergies so seriously, because when someone abuses the system like Karen did, it makes everyone more skeptical of legitimate medical needs. At least in this case, her accountability allergy was captured on camera for everyone to see. Story 3. I work nights at the emergency room, which means I'm driving home at around 7 in the morning when most people are heading to work. The roads are busy but not terrible, and I've gotten used to the routine over the past 2 years. It's actually peaceful in a way watching the city wake up while I'm winding down from a 12-hour shift. Last month, something weird started happening on my usual route home. I'd noticed this black SUV showing up behind different cars, flashing some kind of lights, and actually getting people to pull over. At first, I figured it was an unmarked police car doing traffic enforcement. But then I got a closer look. The lights weren't proper emergency equipment, they looked like something you'd buy online and stick to your dashboard. The SUV was clearly a personal vehicle, not a police cruiser. It had custom rims, tinted windows, and one of those stick figure family decals on the back window. I started paying more attention when I saw it happening. The driver would tailgate someone, flash the lights, and wave them over to the shoulder. Most people, thinking it was law enforcement, would actually pull over. Then this person would get out and walk up to their window like they were conducting a traffic stop. It was completely insane, but I was usually too tired after work to really process what I was seeing. I just wanted to get home and sleep. That changed on a Thursday morning when she decided to pull me over. I was driving in the right lane, doing exactly the speed limit, when I saw the flashing lights in my rearview mirror. My first thought was confusion. I wasn't speeding. I had my seatbelt on, and my car was in perfect working order. I pulled over to the shoulder and waited. That's when I got my first good look at the person who'd been playing traffic cop. She was a middle-aged woman wearing what looked like a security guard uniform that she'd probably bought online. She had on aviator sunglasses and was carrying a clipboard as she walked up to my driver's side window. I rolled it down, still assuming this had to be some kind of legitimate law enforcement. "Karen, do you know why I pulled you over?" "Me? No, I really don't. I was going the speed limit and following all traffic laws." "Karen, you were following too closely to the vehicle in front of you. That's dangerous driving that puts everyone at risk." I looked ahead at the road. There was no car in front of me. The nearest vehicle was at least 8 car lengths away. "Me, I'm sorry, but I wasn't following anyone closely. And can I see your badge and identification?" "Karen, I don't need to show you anything. I'm a certified civilian traffic enforcement officer, and you need to take responsibility for your dangerous driving." That's when alarm bells started going off in my head. Civilian traffic enforcement officer? That's not a real thing. "Me, ma'am, are you actually a police officer?" "Karen, I told you, I'm civilian law enforcement. I have the authority to conduct traffic stops and issue citations for public safety violations." She started writing something on her clipboard, like she was actually writing me a ticket. "Karen, I'm citing you for following too closely and for disrespecting a law enforcement officer." "Me, you're not a law enforcement officer. You're impersonating police, which is a serious crime." "Karen, how dare you? I'm trying to make these roads safer for everyone. People like you think you can drive however you want without consequences. That's when I decided to show her my identification. I pulled out my wallet and handed her my driver's license, which clearly shows that I work for the county sheriff's department as a civilian employee. But more importantly, I also pulled out my other ID. Me? I'm an off-duty police officer. You need to stop this right now. Her face went completely white when she saw my badge. Karen, that's impossible. You're lying. Me, ma'am. You are currently impersonating a police officer, which is a felony. You need to get back in your vehicle and drive away immediately, or I'm gonna have to place you under arrest. Instead of backing down, she doubled down on the crazy. Karen, you're not a real cop. Real cops support civilian law enforcement efforts. You're probably some criminal trying to intimidate me. She actually reached for her phone like she was going to call someone. Karen, I'm calling this in. You're impersonating an officer and threatening a legitimate traffic enforcement agent. At that point, I had no choice. I called dispatch and identified myself, requesting backup for someone impersonating an officer. Then I got out of my car. Me, ma'am, you're under arrest for impersonating a police officer. Karen, you can't arrest me. I'm the one with authority here. I'm making a citizen's arrest of you for impersonating an officer. She actually tried to grab my arm, like she was going to handcuff me or something. I had to restrain her until backup arrived, which took about 5 minutes. When the patrol car pulled up, Karen started screaming at the uniformed officers about how I was a fake cop who was interfering with her traffic enforcement duties. Officer, ma'am, do you have any law enforcement credentials? Karen, I don't need credentials. I'm a concerned citizen exercising my right to enforce traffic safety. Officer, that's not how it works. You can't pull people over and pretend to be police. They found a whole box of fake citation books in her car, along with the dashboard lights she'd been using. Turns out she'd been doing this for weeks, issuing fake tickets to people for things like aggressive lane changing and failure to signal with sufficient advance notice. Karen, this is harassment. I'm performing a public service. These roads are dangerous because no one follows the rules. The real officers were not impressed. They arrested her for impersonating an officer, and her SUV got impounded as evidence. The best part was when they told her that several of the people she'd pulled over had actually filed complaints with the police department. They'd been trying to track down the fake cop for 2 weeks. Karen, those people should be thanking me. I was teaching them how to drive properly. Officer, ma'am, you were committing a felony every time you did this. She kept insisting that she had the right to conduct traffic stops as a concerned citizen all the way to the patrol car. Even when they were putting her in the back seat, she was yelling about how real police should appreciate civilian help. I had to give a statement and testify when her case went to court. She tried to represent herself and argued that she was performing a community service. The judge was not sympathetic. She got 6 months in jail and had to pay thousands in fines and court costs. Her SUV was returned eventually, but only after she paid the impound fees. The whole thing was completely unhinged. She genuinely believed she had the authority to pull people over and issue citations because she wanted to. The level of entitlement it takes to think you can just declare yourself a traffic cop is beyond comprehension. I still drive the same route home from work, but I haven't seen any more fake police cars. Hopefully, Karen learned that real consequences come with pretending to have authority you don't actually possess. Story 4. I've been working as a night manager at the Grand Vista Hotel for about 3 years now. It's not the most glamorous job, but it pays well and I get good benefits. Most nights are pretty quiet, checking in late arrivals, handling minor guest complaints, and making sure the building is secure. The overnight shift suits me because I'm naturally a night owl, and I was able to work around my college schedule when I was finishing my business degree. The Grand Vista is a mid-range business hotel with about 120 rooms. We get a mix of business travelers, tourists, and people attending events at the convention center across the street. Most of our guests are pretty easy to deal with, even when they have complaints. But every once in a while, we get someone who makes the job really interesting. Last Thursday night started out completely normal. I'd checked in a few late arrivals, dealt with a noise complaint on the third floor, and was settling in for what I thought would be a quiet evening. That changed around 11:30 p.m. when my phone rang at the front desk. Me, front desk. This is the night manager. How can I help you? Karen, I'm in room 418, and there's something seriously wrong with this place. I'm hearing voices coming through the air vents. I get weird calls sometimes, especially late at night when people are tired or maybe had a few drinks. Usually it's the air conditioning making noise or sounds from adjacent rooms. Me, I'm sorry to hear you're having trouble sleeping. Sometimes the HVAC system can make unusual sounds. Would you like me to send maintenance up to take a look? Karen, this isn't the air conditioning. There are actual voices having conversations in the walls. This place is haunted. Me, okay? Let me see what I can do. I'll come up and take a listen myself. I figured it was probably the TV or radio in the room next door, or maybe some issue with a ventilation system. I grabbed my master key and headed up to the fourth floor. When I knocked on the door of room 418, I could hear the woman moving around inside, but it took her almost a minute to answer. Karen, finally, you need to do something about this immediately. She was probably in her 40s, wearing pajamas and a hotel bathrobe. Her hair was messy, and she looked genuinely scared. Me, what exactly are you hearing? Karen, listen, just listen. We stood there in silence for about 30 seconds. I could hear the normal hotel sounds, the hum of the air conditioning, maybe some traffic outside, but nothing unusual. Me, I'm not hearing any voices. Are you sure it's not coming from the TV or maybe the room next door? Karen, I turned off everything in the room. The voices are coming from inside the walls. They're talking about me. Karen, they know I'm here. This is some kind of conspiracy. That's when I realized this might be more complicated than a simple noise complaint. Me, what are the voices saying exactly? Karen, they're planning something. I heard them mention my name and talk about getting rid of me. This hotel is part of some kind of terrorist cell. Me, ma'am, I think there might be a misunderstanding here. Let me check the adjacent rooms to see if someone has their TV up too loud. Karen, you're not taking this seriously. These people are using supernatural terrorism to target me. I'm calling the police. Before I could say anything else, she slammed the door in my face. I stood in the hallway for a few minutes, trying to figure out what to do next. I could hear her moving around inside the room, and she seemed to be getting more agitated. Then I heard a loud crash, followed by the sound of breaking glass. I immediately used my master key to get back into the room. Karen had thrown the desk chair out the window. There was glass everywhere, and cold air was rushing in from the broken window. Me, ma'am, you can't throw furniture out the window. You could hurt someone. Karen, I'm defending myself. They're trying to get in through the vents. She grabbed the desk lamp and looked like she was about to throw that out too. Me, please put that down. Let's talk about this calmly. Karen, don't tell me to calm down. You're probably part of this whole thing. That's when I heard sirens outside. She'd apparently called 911 while I was standing in the hallway. 2 police officers arrived about 5 minutes later. I met them in the lobby and explained the situation as best I could. Officer 1, so she thinks the hotel is haunted. Me, she claims she's hearing voices through the vents, and now she's talking about terrorism and conspiracies. She threw a chair out the 4th floor window. Officer 2, anyone hurt? Me, no. Thankfully it landed in the landscaping area, but there's broken glass and property damage. We all went up to room 418 together. Karen answered the door when the officers knocked, and she immediately launched into her story. Karen, thank God you're here. This hotel is running some kind of haunted terrorism operation. They're using ghosts or voices or something to drive guests insane. Officer 1, ma'am, can you show us where you're hearing these voices? Karen, they're coming from the air vents. Listen. We all stood there listening. The room was quiet except for the sound of wind coming through the broken window. Officer 2, I don't hear anything unusual. Are you sure you're not hearing sounds from another room? Karen, I know what I heard. They were talking about me specifically. That's when Officer 1 started looking around the room more carefully. He walked over to the dresser area and picked something up. Officer 1, ma'am, is this your Bluetooth speaker? He was holding a small black speaker that was sitting behind the lamp on the dresser. Karen, oh, that old thing? I brought it from home, but I haven't used it. Officer 1, it's connected to something. There's a blue light indicating an active connection. He pressed a button on the speaker, and suddenly we could all hear faint voices having a conversation. It was some kind of podcast or radio show playing at very low volume. Officer 2, ma'am, this speaker is playing audio from whatever device it's connected to. That's what you've been hearing. Karen, that's impossible. I didn't turn it on. Officer 1, these speakers can automatically connect to devices you've paired them with before. If you had your phone nearby, it might have started playing something without you realizing it. I checked, and sure enough, the speaker was connected to her phone, which was playing some true crime podcast at very low volume. Karen, but they were talking about me specifically. Officer 2, ma'am, you were listening to a podcast about crime and conspiracies. Your brain probably filled in details that weren't actually there, especially if you were tired or anxious. The look on Karen's face as she realized what had happened was priceless, but instead of being embarrassed, she got angry. Karen, this is still the hotel's fault. If your rooms weren't so creepy, I wouldn't have been scared in the first place. Officer 1, ma'am, you threw furniture out a window and filed a false emergency report. That's destruction of property and misuse of emergency services. The officers took a report and gave her a citation for the false 911 call. After they left, I had to deal with the property damage situation. I'm going to need to move you to a different room for tonight, and there will be charges for the broken window and damaged furniture. Karen, I'm not paying for anything. This whole situation is your fault for not properly investigating the voices. The voices were coming from your own speaker. The hotel isn't responsible for that. Karen, I'm going to sue this place for emotional distress and negligence. You'll be hearing from my lawyer. I moved her to a room on the second floor for the rest of the night, and she checked out early the next morning, still threatening legal action. About 2 weeks later, I got a call from our hotel's legal department. Karen had actually followed through with her lawsuit, claiming the hotel was responsible for her supernatural harassment and demanding compensation for emotional distress. Legal department, we've reviewed the police report and the security footage. Her case has no merit whatsoever. The judge dismissed it as frivolous. The hotel ended up charging her credit card for the window replacement and furniture damage, which totaled about $800. When she tried to dispute the charges with her credit card company, we provided them with the police report and security footage showing her throwing the chair out the window. Her credit card company sided with the hotel, and she had to pay the full amount. The best part was that the police report became something of a legend among the hotel staff. We still joke about checking for haunted Bluetooth speakers whenever we get noise complaints. Karen's ghost story turned into a very real bill, a court dismissal, and probably the most embarrassing 911 call of her life.